My name's Phil, I'm single. No joke there, just advertising. Hoping to go home with a date tonight. But when you are single, you can really tell what your friends think of you by the type of girls they try to set you up with. Some of my friends are like, Phil, you got to meet this girl, she's a real babe. Real babe. Who here remembers the movie Babe? And I go to church, it's hard meeting girls at church because you're like, oh, do you want to go on a date? He goes, oh, you and I, a date? No, I'm dating Jesus. You're the third girl this month. You're making this Jesus sound like a player. And I know you're all looking at me and you're thinking, does he? I'm sure he does. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? You're right, I do. I work out. I do like the gym. I like going on the bikes and on the treadmill, the big screen TVs on the wall. And although I think it's made me a little bit lazier because now I won't go for a run unless there's a TV in front of me. And it's interesting when you do lose weight because all your friends are supportive of you. They're like, oh, Phil, you're looking good. You're losing weight. What's your secret? No one's there for you when you're putting on weight. No one's like, Phil, you're looking a bit chunky there. You might want to put down that donut, you fatty boomba. Thanks, guys. And it's interesting the things we tell ourselves when we're feeling fat. You know, oh, wear black because it's slimming, wear black because it's slimming. Yeah, you know what else is slimming? Jogging. Slimming. What's your secret? Smaller portions. But part of the reason is I love junk food. That's my problem. Like, Krispy Kreme is my favourite. Who here by a round of applause likes Krispy Kreme? Listen to that lethargic diabetic applause. I do, I love Krispy Kreme. I love the one out at Narre Warren because it's like the original one in Victoria anyway, and you get to see your donuts being made. You get them to see them fried, and then they go under this thing called the waterfall of glazing. Which is just a sprinkler shooting out icing sugar, but it gets me excited. I look at it and go, oh, I want to go under that. But I do. I love food. I love KFC, although I get angry at KFC sometimes because they give me fresh chips, and I'm like, I've got to eat them one at a time now. I can't just wolf those things down. Can you put this in a blender? And I like just how much I love junk food and just how stupid I am about it is I went to McDonald's and I lined up. I said, can I have a medium McChicken meal and a cheeseburger, please? And the girl behind the counter goes, oh, did you want to upgrade your cheeseburger to a double cheeseburger for $2.20? I go, how much is a normal cheeseburger? She goes, $2. My reaction exactly. I was like, well, you really want to make people fat, don't you? She just shrugged her shoulders. I just went, I'll have a double cheeseburger, please. But, yeah, love food, and that's my problem. The problem is I do love food. I love it too much. And that's why I'm going to the gym, because I want to work out. My dream is that one summer I'll go to the beach, take my top off, and I'll be like Brad Pitt. The reality is I get home and take my shirt off and look like Tony Soprano. It's not right. But, I like to learn as well. I like to learn about science and the mind and stuff, and I just want to share with you some things that I've learned. Like, for example, I was watching a documentary about the British Empire and how it went through World War I and World War II, because it used to be said that the sun never set on Britain because they conquered a lot of the known world, and when they weren't off conquering countries, they were at home drinking in pubs and inventing darts. Which was the great pastime. But it talked about in World War I how the Germans used Zeppelins to attack and bomb London. Which, really, do you want to use a giant balloon to attack a country good at darts? And then in World War II, of course, they invented the plane and that kind of put it down on England. They just kicked their heels back home and said, oh well, what we're going to do now? We'll invent Downton Abbey, how about that? But I do like to learn things, and I picked this magazine up off the newsagent shelf recently called New Scientist, and it's titled The Existential Issue, because that's where I like to go for my philosophical questions. Science. And it asks these questions in it. You know, how could our cosmos have come from nothing? Why is the universe just right for life? Are we utterly alone? What's the origin of my conscience? How do I know everybody else isn't a zombie? But this one, Scientific American Mind, has little bits of snippets in it as well. One of the things that, and this one came out this month if you still want to buy it, but it goes, simply thinking about exercise can improve your health. People who imagine flexing a muscle increase both their brain activity and muscle strength, said an obese man from his couch watching TV all day. One thing I won't learn though is the game of chess. It's crazy. I think the rules are made up as you go along. So you sit down at a game of chess. So this little piece can move 2 spots for the first go, and then 1 spot after that. This piece can move diagonally. What about the horsey? Oh, an L shape. Yeah, that sounds genius. I like phrases as well. Like there's interesting phrases out there. You know, people say, oh, if a bird poos on you, it's good luck. If you put your jumper on backwards, it's good luck. No, it just means you're an idiot who can't dress yourself. And there's things like, I'll tell you something for nothing, or blood's thicker than water, unless you're anemic. But a couple of my favourite phrases, one of them is, it's what I do. Guys, you can do this to, you know, your girlfriend, if you're here with her. If you're not, whoever, your sister, whatever. If she's walking, she trips over and you catch her, and she goes, oh, thanks for catching me. You just go, it's what I do. And they're like, yes. But if you're driving home and she goes, you just hit a cat, don't follow it up with, it's what I do. But my absolute favourite phrase is this, because it leads to my dream. Like, this is just this big dream I have, and it's this phrase. It's well, quite often when someone passes away or dies, same thing. Some people might at the funeral say, oh, at least he died doing what he loved. Like maybe John likes skydiving and one day his chute doesn't open. You know, people are like, oh, at least he died doing what he loved. What, hitting the ground at 200 kilometres an hour? Bet he would have liked it if the chute had opened. But I want that for myself. I want to die in a way that leaves friends and family going, oh, at least he died doing what he loved. Like, maybe I drown in a vat of Krispy Kreme glazing. Thanks, guys. That's my time. Have a good night.